Please welcome Walter Dixon, University of Alberta.
Hello from Canada and the University of Alberta. I'm so pleased to introduce our nominated spin-off, True Angle Medical Technologies, whose technology, called Mobili-T, has made an incredible impact on people's lives in only a few short years. Mobili-T is an innovative IoT or Internet of Things device, truly a first. And with it, True Angle is changing the game for the treatment of dysphagia or swallowing disorders, a historically underserved medical market. True Angle has what you want in a startup. First, a truly leading-edge technology. Second, real-world impact. Mobili-T can help the estimated 500 million people worldwide and 50 million in Europe who suffer from swallowing disorders, for whom everyday swallowing, eating, and drinking is a monumental task. Third, strong product feedback. US clinicians call it a game changer, while patients call it amazing. And finally, a strong CEO, a rare combination of accomplished scientist, healthcare trailblazer, and passionate entrepreneur. And here to tell you more is True Angle's CEO, Jana Rieger.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Breaking all of swallowing disorders. Jana Rieger, True Angle.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an incredible honor for me to be here with you today to talk about my team's mission, which is to empower people to enjoy the lives that they're living with smart sensing technologies. The wall that we are breaking on this mission is that of swallowing disorders. Now, every day, billions of people around the world, like you and me, enjoy delicious food. Eating is more than just survival. It's about socialization, connection, and sheer pleasure. But for 500 million people around the world who've been diagnosed with dysphagia because of things like stroke, head and neck cancer, Parkinson's, or traumatic brain injury, eating becomes exhausting and life-threatening. Now, it doesn't have to be this way because there is a therapy that targets the muscles of swallowing. To get this therapy, patients have to come into a hospital on a daily basis, get hooked up to a machine, and they have to do this for weeks on end. So this is costly and inconvenient, and the end result is that patients just don't do it. What ends up happening then is that clinicians will simply give patients a sheet of paper with exercises written on it, and they'll send patients home and expect that they'll do that at home. What we know is that just doesn't happen. So True Angle is challenging the status quo because we believe that every person deserves technology to empower them to unlock their own potential. So the team at True Angle took that really big in-clinic machine, we compacted it down into a small, easy-to-use system called the Mobili-T. There's a little sensor that fits under the chin and senses what the muscles are doing, and that pairs with a mobile device to give the patient an at-home exercise experience. Our research shows that patients, after using the device intensively, say that it's easier to swallow, that they cough less when they're eating, and that they're less embarrassed and less upset about their swallowing problem. Now, globally, $6 billion is spent on dysphagia management. We intend to capture $800 million of that by focusing on the health at home market. This is a market that is growing at a compound annual growth rate of 35%. So based on our current understanding of our target market, we've modeled our revenue growth to increase to $7 million by 2025. How are we going to achieve this? We're going to do it by offering our customers a database solution that outperforms our competition in terms of cost, convenience, simplicity, comfort, and design. And like any other products that are on the market right now, the Mobili-T is a data-driven solution. So we have our own swallow detection algorithm. We deliver personalized exercise targets to patients. They get biofeedback about what their muscles are doing. They get progress trackers that motivate them to keep on going. And this is all housed within a cloud-based data warehouse that connects the patient to the clinician through a clinician portal. Our go-to-market strategy includes a business model that has both a direct-to-consumer pathway and an enterprise solution. Both of these have recurring revenue components. We're also nurturing industry market partnerships. We have customers from prestigious institutions like Stanford, and we recently launched a research partnership with Varian Siemens Healthineers. This is only the beginning for mobility. We're building out our software as a platform, and we're protecting critical parts of this through our IP strategy. We also have filed national phase entries for an e-textile printing process that will protect multiple future verticals in sensing technology for healthcare and wellness applications. Thank you for this opportunity to share the TrueAngle story.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Do we have questions? Yes, one here. To start with Frank.
I think the positioning of the sensor is essential. How do you control the positioning of the sensor by the patient? Is there any kind of feedback? And can you use the sensor several times? And how often do you use it? And how long do you need to wear the sensor?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that great question, Frank. We spent a lot of time in our development considering placement and considering that the patient would have to be doing this at home by themselves. We used our industrial design colleagues to help us with this. On the sensor, there you go. You can see that there's two sensors here, and this is a ground. There's a video that shows patients how to place it, but essentially the ground goes on a bony structure. So we've tested the usability of this, and we've found that patients are able to place it reliably. So that's the first part. The second part of your question was around how long do they wear this? So they only wear it when they're exercising. The exercise program that is delivered to them, depending on their ability, will take probably anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes a day. They're able to break that up into different portions in a day. Each time they start, they recalibrate the system so that also accounts for differing sensing that we get based on where the sensor is placed. And then that calibration sets the targets for them for that particular exercise session.
Okay, we have a question here in the second row.
Have you been able to protect the results of your good work by a patent?
Yeah, so we have filed patents in the US, Canada, and in Europe. We're currently defending office actions in the US, and we've just started in Canada as well. Okay,
next question here. Thank you.
So I believe sometimes these patients also have speech problems. Does your technology or exercise also help them with their speech problem?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. We have not tested that in our research, but anecdotally, from patients who have gone through our swallowing testing, they're reporting that their speech is better after using the device, so for a period of time. It makes sense because you're using the same muscles essentially for those processes. So it wasn't surprising to us to hear that it improved patients' ability to speak as well as sing, actually.
We have time for a last question. Who would like to take it? Okay, Frank again.
Can you talk a little bit about pricing? What is the out-of-pocket price, and do you get reimbursement?
Yeah, so depending on the healthcare system, we've been working in the US first. That was our first launch target market. And so the pricing we've tried to keep within a willingness to pay that patients have told us about. So we did a lot of background work on if this is out of pocket for a patient, how much could we charge them for it? So we've priced around that. We've also priced around for our enterprise solution and the clinician portal portion of that. We've priced around what the market is telling us is a comfortable enterprise solution pricing. As far as reimbursement goes, there are remote physiological monitoring codes that we're taking advantage of with clinicians so that some of the costs they put into the enterprise solution is reimbursed.
Okay, thank you very much for the great questions. Thank you very much for the presentation. Excellent.